What is the best way to adapt the discursive into an imaginative? So if you have a discursive, first of all, make sure that what you're talking about there is closely connected with the concern or theme of the prescribed text. That was the first thing. So make sure you've got a clear concept to begin with, not just like I'm exploring student life. Like again, that's like Shakespeare explores power. I don't really know what that means. That the last thing I would focus on as part of this process is, what if they wanted me to include a character from my module A text? Or the main focus is your module C text, because they're the prescribed text. So don't get carried away with, Eliot and like your module A and common mod text. Module C is its own module. It has its own texts. So let's focus on that. And then when you do some practice of different types of questions, you can throw in, oh, what if I had to use a character from mod A? Who would the character be that allows me to just weave it in where I don't have to change that much? Who's the easiest person to use there? So you can actually have a look at those questions at the end and always try and make life easier for yourself by choosing things that allow you to preserve more of your draft than otherwise. Okay. How do you adapt a discursive into an imaginative? You have to create a setting and a character that embodies the same kind of concerns as the discursive. So if you're doing a discursive about procrastination, then instead of just reflecting on procrastination, you need to actually have a character who you characterize at the beginning, who is in the midst of procrastination and they can't get out of it. So if you're talking about procrastination, make sure that instead of reflecting on it, you actually show a character who is that person procrastinating, which means you need to design a setting. You need to create a setting. That's the first thing that you guys all need to know. If you're going to shift to an imaginative from one of the other two, create a setting and a character that then allows you to explore the same concerns as in that discursive and persuasive. So again, if it's procrastination, I can talk about procrastination and reflect on some things, or I can design a setting where maybe my character's at a desk trying to write. It's always good to write about someone writing, because that's so relevant to the craft of writing, right? So if you write about a writer, then you can actually write about your writer in a room procrastinating and explore all of the same concepts, but you're creating more imagery. It's more descriptive. The imaginative is far more descriptive. You have vivid imagery. You might have some dialogue, but I wouldn't really recommend having too much dialogue, guys, because it's very hard to do that well. And it often is very tacky and cliche. So I would just, in medias res, you can start in the middle of action. So Judah, if you're starting with the procrastination thing, jump straight into the conflict. Don't waste time. Make it clear what the problem is for your character, and that it will allow you to explore through your setting and through their actions as they try to write something, how difficult it is to not procrastinate, which is the same thing you explored in your discursive. It's just a different style.